So let's resume learning and see what we'll have for today. Windows command line we have today. We are starting a new room. We have task number 1, introduction. Everyone prefers a graphical user interface until they master a command line interface. I wanted to say this before seeing what I wanted to say this before reading this. That everyone prefers a graphical user interface. Actually, if you get used with a command line, I would say not necessarily that you will prefer it, but it will be very fast and very quick. You will get used with your shortcuts, and yeah, it's just very, very fast and productive. A GUI is also good. There are many reasons for that. One reason is that GUIs are usually intuitive. If someone offers you a GUI interface you are unfamiliar with, you can quickly poke around and discover a new trivial part. Compare this with dealing with a CLI. That is a prompt. The CLI interface usually have a learning curve. However, as you master the command line, you will find it faster and more efficient, as I said. Consider this trivial example. How many clicks do you need to find your IP address using the graphical desktop? Using the command line interface, you don't even need to raise your hand off the keyboard. It's just one command. 2 words. IP. Actually, let's join the room. We already started. All right, so check this out. IP. And when you press IP, you have different flags and switches, and you can use IP to find your IP address in one command and in 0.2 seconds. Using a command line interface, you don't even need to raise your hand off the keyboard. Let's say you want to recheck your IP address. You need to issue the same command instead of moving the mouse pointer to every corner of your screen. There are many other advantages to using a CLI. Besides speed and efficiency, we'll mention a few. Lower resource usage, much lower. Automation, remote management. So lower resource usages means that the CLIs require fewer system resources than graphics. Basically a graphical user interface. In other words, you can run your CLI system on older hardware system with limited memory. If you are using cloud computing, your system will require lower resources, which in turn will lower your bill. We all love a lower bill, right? Automation. While you can automate GUI tasks, create a batch file or a script with the commands you need to repeat is much easier. Yeah, just try it. Try to automate or write a script just to, I don't know, just a simple script to create a folder in a place on your Linux machine and I don't know, make a file and put some random text in it. Automate this, it will be much easier. Even though it's very fast to do that from the command line. Remote management. CLI makes it very convenient to use SSH to manage a remote system such as a server, router, or an IoT device. This approach works well on slow network speeds and systems with limited resources. Learning objectives. The purpose of this room is to teach you how to use MS Windows command prompt, cmd.exe, the default command line interpreter in Windows environment. You will learn how to use the command line to display basic system information, check and troubleshoot network configuration, manage files and folders, check running processes. Room prerequisites. Before starting this room, you should have finished the Windows and Active Directory fundamentals modules, which we did on this channel. Everything is done. You can check by these, or you can enter in a random room and just check by the name of the things that you find in here, and you will find everything in my channel. All right, so start the machine. What do we have to do? Just to log in with SSH. That's it. That's it for this one. All right, I'll start the machine anyway. Start the table by pressing alright. Actually, I could try it from my WSL. That's another thing that we can use Linux inside the Windows machine. But let's just stay with this, not complicate things. Alright, so let's exit the split view. And now if you see up here where it will start the attack box, you just click it and it will show again. Now, if you open the terminal, going back to the command line to see the IP address, you just press IPA and boom, there you go, or everything you want to know. Now, let's see, we need to connect to the SSH machine. We have to say this thing. So we say SSH space user at 10.132.173, and now if you check over here, these are the IPs of the attack box, but the IP of the target is a different one. So even though if you want to try to search this one over here, you will not find it. Now if you press enter, I presume there is no password, right? Oh, there is one right over here. Now just a quick thing on this. When you try to log in via SSH on a new machine, any machine, via the command line or whatever, you will be prompted with this one. After you say yes for this fingerprinting, this machine will always remember you. We have a file, an SSH file that will register this machine, and it will know that you want to connect to that machine again. So this prompt it's one time only. We say yes, and now we say try hack me 123. Boom. Even though you don't see what you write, just write it out because it works. Now you can see we are inside a Windows machine. What is the default command line interface interpreter in the Windows environment? CMD.